Welcome to a quick review of NFP trading that I have managed to catch today. The trade that we're going to be looking at is going to be 1018 on Jan the 10th of 2025. It's a catch that I'm going to be breaking down in TradingView. And ultimately, we caught a 200 handle run with partials on the way up. You'll see me trying to hit 250, but unfortunately, price went out and kind of stopped me out at my stop loss, my final micro that I had attached to this trade. And all in all, for me today, it was $5,500 trade. Each of my accounts brought roughly just under 1.1K each. So pretty big day on NFP especially. So without further ado, let's jump into TradingView and let's have a closer look at this trade today and what happened in price action. So starting off with the daily here. Okay. We were opening up on this candle right here. Above us, we had levels of buy side liquidity. And right below us, we essentially had relative equal bottoms on the daily perspective, which was one of the sides of liquidity that we're looking at live on the live stream. What price did on NFP at 8:30, it wicked into the midnight opening range, rejected it, dropped lower, retraced from 8:30 all the way to the open. Once 9:30 clicked in, price dropped further. And on the live stream, we did try to capture some of this to the downside. I did manage to catch a small position here. I tried to take a second off of the retest of this fair value gap to the downside. Unfortunately, I got wicked out. If you look here on the 15-second chart, this is kind of where I gave back some of my gains, and it did drop lower, in fact. So, kudos that I got the direction right, but unfortunately, my stop loss could have been a bit managed a bit better. And then once price got below the relative equal lows that you can see here on the daily chart, price started reversing, and we start seeing small signatures of reversals when A, liquidity gets hit, B, we see a market structure shift on the 1 minute and on the 15 seconds. So right here on the 15 second, you can see high here got peers. This was the indication that the market has shifted to the upside. And the line in the sand for me is I wanted to see price break this little small fair value gap here that has formed. It breaking an additional, I'm going to mark it here in red here. Hold on, it is just jumping around. And once price broke above it and retested it, that was my entry for long. That's the indication that we're breaking and retesting SIBs, so fair value gaps that are being created to the downside. Once it broke above it, I did take a long, and on my way up to my intended target, which was the 9:30 open, to start partialing out. And the logic behind the partials was very simple. I took off a couple partials when we got to the bottom of the SIB because there could have been a possible reaction and then a drop lower. My second partial was at the midpoint of this sell side imbalance, buy side inefficiency. What price did break through it, use it as support, and then continued to go higher. My third partial was at these highs right here. And then my final one was at the cusp, or once price touched the bottom of the first fair value gap on the 1 minute. At this point, when price was here, I had 1 micro remaining from my initial, 7. And then what price did is I was assuming that it would go back down, fill in this fair value gap, and hopefully break through this very strong PD array that we discuss multiple times on the live streams. But unfortunately, it broke right through, and my stop was sitting right below the midpoint of this fair value gap here. So all in all, $5,500 day. It was a huge run up on NFP. Very happy with my performance overall today. Before this trade, I did take a couple of trades. I tried taking a long after the 8:30. Unfortunately, price got halfway to my target and just took me out at stop even. We caught this one post 9:30, and then the final one here is right after the liquidity taken on the double bottoms on the daily and a reversal. Now it's interesting, and what I'm looking at, and unfortunately my accounts are locked. I can't trade them for the next until Monday. But these relative equal lows that are forming, this is of interest to me. So if you are watching this video, something to watch out for. Hopefully they stay open till Monday, and this is maybe a target that we might be targeting later on before going back up. So that's that for today. Hopefully you learned something, but ultimately it's very simple. Tag on liquidity on the daily, market structure shift seeing some bearish PDAs turn bullish through inversions, and then using logical levels, taking partials on the way up to our intended target. So all in all, the run was, the most I caught was 171 handles, but my overall trade completely out was around 117. So this is a fairly large trade. Was happy that, was satisfied with the way I managed it. And I guess on that note, that's really it for today. So hope you learned something, how to partial, how to look at specific levels, how to use the first fair value gap on the 1 minute as a target or an area of interest when it comes to either taking trades or closing trades. And last but not least, trying to read the overall higher timeframes and selecting PD arrays that you think price is going to either go to or go away from. So on that note, I hope all of you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Stay safe.